Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really zeroing in on some fascinating guidance. It feels like a roadmap almost for navigating emotional and mental, well, fog, basically, specifically for October 12th, 2025. How to find clarity when things feel murky.
Yeah, and the sources we're looking at are quite specific. They're excerpts from Le Traversée vers la Clarté, which translates to The Crossing Towards Clarity.
By Tarot by High CA.
Exactly, and it blends astrology and tarot guidance. What struck me is how practical it aims to be. It's not just forecasting, it feels like it's giving instructions.
Right. And when I saw that title, The Crossing Towards Clarity, my first thought was, okay, how do we actually do that? What are the steps? So that's our mission today, isn't it? To take these, really evocative metaphors, the boats, the rivers, all that, and figure out what they're actually telling you to do, the practical takeaways for making that crossing.
Absolutely. Finding the actionable advice within the symbolism. And the starting point, according to this guidance, is really about setting the internal stage, inner tending, emotional restoration.
Okay, so grounding ourselves first. The sources talk about a smooth flow on this day. What does that mean exactly? Like emotions and thoughts working together?
Yeah, precisely. It suggests a day where that usual disconnect, where you feel something strongly but can't quite articulate it or figure out the why, that gap is meant to be bridged.
Oh, okay.
Activities like heartfelt conversations or even just journaling are supported because they help link feeling and thinking.
And astrologically, what's driving that?
That's the moon in Cancer. Cancer energy is all about heart, home, intuition, feeling secure, sometimes vulnerability too.
Right.
So with the moon there, it really dials up our need to connect with our inner world, maybe nest or retreat, as the source says.
Makes sense. A pull towards home, loved ones,
Yeah.
intimate conversations.
Exactly. Those meaningful exchanges. It's a day primed for the interior world, for sure.
So the journaling you mentioned, it's not just venting then. It's more like translating.
That's a great way to put it, translating that raw, kind of lunar Cancerian feeling into something your mind can actually process, giving it structure.
But there's a catch, right? A warning in the guidance.
Yes. And this is maybe the most crucial bit of practical advice in this whole first section. It mentions you might struggle to trust your feelings, but you must take them seriously.
Okay.
A and D. And this is key. You have to be careful not to confuse genuine care with, well, smothering.
Ah, the boundary issue, that classic Cancerian tension.
Exactly. You feel this intense pull to nurture, to merge emotionally, maybe even overshare, thinking that'll fix the ambiguity.
Right. But the source says boundaries are essential, sacred even. How do you manage that? Be vulnerable and hold boundaries. That feels tricky, especially with a Cancer moon magnifying everything.
It feels tricky if you think of a boundary as just a wall, like you said,
Oh,
but
yeah.
the guidance implies it's more like the banks of a river. It
Yeah.
contains the flow. If you let all that emotional energy just spill out everywhere, you deplete yourself. The boundaries protect the energy you need for the actual crossing later. They ensure the connection is restorative, not draining.
So it's about focused care, not just emotional flooding.
Yeah.
Got it. And there's timing involved too. Something about the evening.
Yeah, the text suggests that the evening is when the brain power and communication skills really come online.
So the mental clarity part strengthens later.
Seems so. After you've done that inner tending, that emotional housekeeping during the day, it reinforces the idea that this isn't a day for big external pushes or, grand adventures. It's preparation, inner world focus.
Okay. So that sets the emotional foundation. Now let's talk about the actual crossing, the mental journey. That brings us to the TarotScope, doesn't it?
It does, the Six of Blades. And the source explicitly links this card to crossing over with clarity.
For anyone listening who isn't deep into tarot, the blades or sword suit is usually about the mind, right? Intellect, sometimes struggle, truth.
That's right. And the sex here isn't about being in the fight. It's about the journey away from it, a deliberate, sometimes maybe sad, but necessary passage away from mental turmoil.
That's a key distinction. Not fighting, but migrating mentally.
And the source breaks down this card's energy for the day into 4 things: release, passage, protection, and this is important, ancestral guidance.
Ancestral guidance. So suggesting we're not alone in this shift.
Exactly. The core instruction, as interpreted here, is about leaving behind the noise, the mental static, confusion, grief, just that internal struggle.
And it acknowledges it might feel unstable,
Yeah.
like you're not on solid ground yet.
Yes, it does. But it offers the promise that you're being carried, maybe by those unseen hands moving towards something calmer.
And the movement itself, It's described as quiet, deliberate, even tiring.
Yeah, which feels counterintuitive maybe. We often think progress has to be fast or forceful. But here, the stillness within it is sacred. It's a measured movement, not a frantic escape.
That leads directly to that amazing quote in the text, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Let our mind be the vessel, not the anchor. Powerful.
It really is. Because isn't that often the problem when you feel stuck? Your mind is the anchor, just holding on to old hurts, worries, the struggle itself.
Absolutely. So being the vessel means trusting the current, even if you don't know exactly where it leads immediately.
It means, as the source says, releasing attachment to the how of healing.
Yes, we get so hung up on wanting healing to look a certain way or happen on our schedule. This guidance is saying, just get in the boat. Move with it. Let it carry you to a place where those boundaries you set earlier feel natural and your own voice feels clearer.
It's about lightening the mental load, essentially.
Yeah, that's the core of it.
Okay, so conceptually that makes sense.
Yeah.
Inner tending first, then this deliberate vessel-like mental crossing. But how does that feel in practice? This is where the StoryScope helps, right? Naya's journey.
Yes, Nia's story makes it tangible. It's a beautiful metaphor. She gets to this river, and the world around her starts to unweave itself.
That sounds like that moment of peak confusion, maybe. When you know something has to change, but the path isn't clear at all.
Exactly that feeling. And notice what she's given. Not some huge, sturdy ship. It's a small boat, carved smooth as bone and light as breath.
Lightness. Interesting.
And the instruction from the old woman? It's so simple but so hard. You just have to let go.
The ultimate challenge. Just
Jen.
letting go.
So Naya steps in, and the description of the river, this is profound. It doesn't just move forward. The source says it moves through her,
Through her. How?
peeling away the heavy stuff. Thoughts, grief, difficult memories. It's like a cleansing flow.
Wow. And the river itself? It wasn't water?
No, the source says it was made of stories.
Stories. Okay, that connects right back to the ancestral guidance idea through the Six of Blades.
It has to. It suggests your own life narrative, including all the difficult chapters, isn't something to escape from, but the very thing that carries you across.
So the past becomes the medium of transition, not the obstacle.
That seems to be the message. And the water shows reflections. Her grandmother's laugh, her mother's song. It's personal history, but also lineage, resilience.
And then the actual moment of clarity arrives with the ancestors.
Yes. 3 figures appear, described as translucent, glowing blue. One touches her forehead,
And leaves.
a streak of light that hums softly. And the text explicitly says that humming is clarity finding its home. The fog lifts.
That's incredible imagery. Clarity as a physical sensation, a humming light.
And right then, they give her the core insight, the big revelation.
Is it?
You've been rowing in circles. You thought movement meant progress, but healing is a crossing, not a chase.
Ah, there it is. That's the absolute key takeaway we were looking for. We mistake frantic effort, the chase, for actual progress.
Yeah,
But
it is.
this crossing, it implies being carried, a safer passage, not just striving harder. It means stopping the frantic paddling.
Right, it's about allowing the transition.
So for someone listening right now who feels like they are rowing in circles, what's a concrete first step, like a 5-minute action based on this?
Okay, a 5-minute action. I'd say use those 5 minutes to just identify the anchor. If you're going in circles, something's holding you there. A belief, a regret, an expectation.
So pinpoint the loop.
Yeah. Maybe write down the one sentence, the thought that keeps repeating about your struggle. Recognize that sentence as the anchor. That's what you need to begin to release before you can trust the vessel, the current.
That makes perfect sense. And it ties into Naya's arrival, doesn't it? She reaches the shore.
She does. And the shore isn't just dirt, it's shimmering with gold dust. Transformation.
And she leaves something behind. Or finds something.
Find something in the boat, a piece of sodalite.
The stone of truth and clarity.
Exactly. And it's humming with that same energy, that same clarity that filled her. A tangible reminder.
And her final realization, her kind of mantra for this new place.
The past does not define me. It teaches me how to cross, which is a complete reframe.
It really is. And the proof, the final image.
Her footprints glow faintly blue as she walks away. The connection to that clarity, to the ancestors, it remains. It's sustainable.
Wow. Okay, so let's bring this all together for October 12th. We have 2 clear paths converging. First, the astrological imperative, tend the inner world.
Right. Cancer Moon says, heartfelt, bounded connections, journaling to translate feeling into thought, prep work.
And second, The Tarot's instruction, via the Six of Blades Aeneas story, recognize if you're rowing in circles.
Mm-hmm.
Identify the anchor, that repeating thought or feeling.
Mm-hmm. And consciously choose to let your mind be the vessel, not the anchor. Trust the process of release. Allow the stories to carry you. Because ultimately, healing is a crossing. It's not a chase.
Which brings us to our final thought, something for you, the listener, to really sit with.
Okay.
If that river, the thing that carries us across to clarity, is literally made of stories,
Hmm.
if the memories and narratives that maybe feel like an anchor right now are actually the substance of the current, how can you start to re-see your own past struggles? Not as chains holding you back, but maybe as the very fuel, the very water that will carry you into a new light. Think about Naya's gold dust shore, her glowing footprints. What kind of lasting, positive proof might your own crossing leave behind?